to put out this content for benefit of all who come across my page. If you're joining for the first time, please do well to subscribe to this channel and so that you can get more enriching content in the days ahead. We want to talk about self-leadership. What does it truly mean to lead your very own self? So self-leadership is the ease with which you can manage yourself, especially in relation to your emotions, in relation to your environment, in relation to the resources that you have at your disposal, and in relation to the happenings, the things that you experience as a person from day to day. Now, leading yourself is by far tougher than giving commands to other people, especially on how they can lead their own selves. You know, it's easier to be a disciplined master than it is to be disciplined. Self-leadership is a branch of leadership that is not often talked about. You know, the emphasis these days is more about being able to lead other people, being able to use power, being able to control people, and what have you. But you see, self-leadership is the chief cornerstone of organizational leadership. If you are not able to lead yourself as you should, so many things are going to go wrong. So many things would go wrong, not only in your life, but in the lives of those. Now, let's consider some of the expressions or offshoots of personal leadership. The first one, of course, is a strong sense of discipline. You can tell that you are leading yourself if you are as disciplined as you should be. And discipline is really about making yourself do what you should do, whether you feel like it or not, whether you're in the mood or not, irrespective of what others are doing or are not doing. Now, that's very important. You as you should if you push yourself beyond the limit. If you are not willing to step outside of your comfort zone, you will not be able to lead yourself as you should. So one of the offshoots of self-leadership becomes discipline. Discipline is very important. The second offshoot of self-leadership that is very, very important is focus. When you lead yourself as you should, you would generally have a sense of focus. And focus is really about maintaining a steady posture, knowing where you are headed and maintaining a steady posture, composing yourself, staying alert and alive to your priorities, and staying away from distractions. And you will always have distractions. You will always have other things calling for your attention. But one sign that you are leading yourself as you should is that you are able to ignore these distractions and these sidetractions and pay attention to your object of pursuit until you cross the finish line. It takes focus for you to start things and finish them. You know, many people have a hard time going all the way to the finish line because when they start doing things, something else comes, to interfere with their priority. And because they don't have self-will, they don't have a strong self-will, they abandon their priorities and they respond to their pleasures or to pressures. That is quite unfortunate. Now, another mark of self-leadership is self-control. You know you are leading yourself if you can control yourself, and this is in relation to several things. There is personal control, internal control, and there is external control. You make it necessary for the other people that you look up to, especially in the context of the workplace, to exert control on you if you are not able to control yourself. So the more you have self-control, the lesser the need for external control. The more you discipline yourself, the lesser the need for discipline from other people. So we control ourselves in relation especially to our appetites. We have appetites for different things. We have appetites for food, we have appetite for praise, we have appetite for money, we have appetite for sex, we have appetite for recognition. The list goes on and on. The ease with which we can manage, coordinate, moderate these appetites so that they do not become a force for disaster is what we call self-leadership. Now, the thing with self-leadership is that you cannot delegate self-leadership. You cannot outsource self-leadership. There are several things that you can get other people to do for you. Self-leadership is not one of them. You can't get another person to play that role of leading your very own self. And if you fail at leading yourself, the price is too huge. The price you will pay for is too great a price to pay. And I want to end by touching on some of the things that you have to consider if you are going to win this battle when it comes to self-leadership. The first one is self-awareness. That is the ability to know the tendencies that are associated with your person. You understand your temperament, you understand your weaknesses, you understand your strengths, you understand your limitations, you understand your identity. You know the peculiar traits and tendencies that are linked to your person. That is what we mean by self-awareness. You understand that you are emotionally vulnerable in this direction. There are some people, for example, who have an anger problem. How would you even be able to overcome that anger problem if you do not recognize that you have an anger problem? You never solve a problem whose presence you deny. If you live in denial, you will not be able to solve the problems that you are battling with or you are dealing with. So the first thing that is very important is self-awareness. The second thing is the almighty importance of support systems. We need support systems if we are going to enforce discipline, if we are going to enforce self-control on a sustained basis. We need support systems, and these support systems could be accountability partners, these support systems could be mentors, but you need a support system if you are going to ensure that you stay in check. It is very dangerous for anyone to live their life free from the burden of accountability. So many things can and will go wrong in your life if there is nobody that you are accountable to. So you need a support system. Your support system could be your wife, your support system could be your husband, your support system could even be your mentor, your pastor, anybody who takes on the role of putting an eye on you, a checkmate. Anybody who takes on the role of ensuring that you don't go off the radar, you don't wander off from the path, and they always try to bring you back to the lane. That person begins to constitute a support system. Your friend can be a support system. Help you not to lose your mind or miss the mark without realizing it and coming back to the track that you left off. Another thing that I need us to understand is that you have to have a sense of mission. A sense of mission. The only reason why it becomes necessary for you to lead yourself is that you have an assignment to pursue. You have a mission, you have a ministry, you have a calling, you have a purpose, you have a vision. There's an agenda that you are chasing. Otherwise, self-leadership becomes a luxury. Self-leadership becomes unnecessary. There should be a motivation why you are leading yourself. If your motivation is strong enough, then you have a reason not to back out even for one day. So if you are looking for reasons why you should lead yourself, begin with your why. Begin with your why. What is your reason for living? Start from there. What is your purpose for living? It's very, very important. So we live in a world where emphasis is laid on leading other people influencing other people, becoming a person of impact, becoming a person who is famous, and so on and so forth. But we do not realize that if you fail at leading yourself, even the success you achieve within your lifetime is a ticking time bomb. You will not be able to manage the success that you achieve if you fail at leading yourself. It becomes paramount, it becomes very important that you succeed to lead yourself. Yes, and I have a question here: why countries are in conflicts every day and conflicts are increasing? Well, it is not difficult to understand why countries are in conflicts every day. Fundamentally, it is human nature. You know, man is greedy by nature, man is self seeking by nature. When you have a leader who seeks to push his own personal agenda and ambitions and not the common good or the general good, that is the kind of thing that we are going to experience at the end of the day. So we can tag it to greed, we can tag it to selfishness, we can tag it to the desire to push your own ambitions, and there are so many other things that we can talk about. But the bottom line is that if you succeed to lead yourself, if you are able, you will be able to fight for common good. If you were to be given the privilege of leading other people, you will work hard to ensure that the society, you will work hard to ensure that no one is left behind. You will pursue an inclusive model of development. You will ensure that nobody is neglected in the struggle of emancipation. So this is what it means to lead yourself. Consider the range of things that we have discussed. On another video, we are going to expand and expound on the things that we have said so far. But remember that if you do not succeed at leading yourself, you are like a flat tire. You are like a car that has a flat tire. No matter how hard others push you or try to give you a push, their effort will always go in vain. There are things that you must do for yourself. No matter how kind your collaborators are, there are things that you must do for yourself and by yourself. And leading yourself is one of them. You can't outsource it, you can't delegate it, you must take upon it by yourself. This is absolutely very important. So yes, I look forward to reading from you in the comment section, and feel free to ask me your questions. Hopefully we would do more in this direction of leadership, of self-leadership, in the next video. God bless you, and please do well to subscribe to my channel. Do well to recommend this channel to other people. I assure you that you can expect nothing less than high quality content that will bless your life. Okay, I have a question. Let me take it before I go. Rich countries are good leadership. Please explain. Well, I wouldn't really understand what you mean by rich countries are good leadership. Perhaps you meant to say that the countries that are rich because of good leadership. If that is what you meant to say, well, it depends. It depends on several factors. The great leadership expert John C. Maxwell, everything rises and falls on leadership. And I think that what he has said is so good, is so acceptable that we cannot even edit it in any way. It is true. Families and churches and schools and institutions and nations, they rise or they fall on the basis of leadership. The quality of leadership in a nation determines the level of economic prosperity that they can enjoy. And it is true of every institution, it is true of every unit of the society. If families are falling apart today, it is because parenting is not what it should be. Parents have become dysfunctional. So we have dysfunctional homes. And when you have dysfunctional homes, you will have dysfunctional societies. Every president was once a child. And the secret to solving the leadership crisis in the world is to ensure that parenting is a success. Is to ensure that we have better homes. If we have better homes, we'll have better societies. If we have better societies, we'll have better leaders manning different structures in the society. So that's how I can explain it. If we have weak institutions, then we have weak leaders and we have weak officers. If you find a church that is not doing well as it should, then you can blame it on the leadership of the church, because leadership determines the temperature of the institution, determines whether you're doing well or you're not doing well. Everything rises and falls on leadership. I hope this helps someone who stumbles on this video, and please do well to share this video so that more people can get blessed by this content. Thank you. And my name is George Charisma. I'm a leadership coach and trainer. Feel free to reach out to me if you need my services when it comes to capacity building in the direction, especially of leadership. I would come back to tackle the remaining questions that cropped up while I was live. Thank you. God bless you. See you in the next video.